Hello, so please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. So this week I'm going to be sharing something very different. This is a trip I took a few days ago to Tewkesbury in the south of England, and I took my camper van and my greyhound Lexi. And what I wanted to do in this intro, before sort of sharing with you snippets of that rather exciting weekend, shall we say, I just wanted to have a bit of a chat about breathing space. And it struck me as I was going to this weekend that it's so important to take time out from the norm. Now, that doesn't have to be a camper van trip. It can be something very simple. It can be a walk or some time out or a trip to the theatre or whatever, or a jigsaw in your living room, or whatever it is that's different, just to give yourself a bit of space and your head a little bit of space, because with everything that goes on in our lives, whether or not, like me, you've got responsibilities for caring for family members or whatever it is that's going on, it does take over. And sometimes things get very hectic when you're juggling multiple things. And so this time out and breathing space becomes really, really important. And so as much as this video is about sharing snippets of the weekend, it's also about taking time out to do things differently and to do different things to what you usually do, and the importance of that. So without further ado, I am going to start sharing some of my little snippets of video from the weekend past. Here we go. Hello, so here I am on a campsite in Gloucestershire, actually, in Tewkesbury, or just on the outskirts of Tewkesbury, and just been setting up the van and setting up the pop-up here. And as you can probably see, lots of campers ready for the Medieval Festival in Tewkesbury. And so I'm just getting set up. It was a pretty good run down, actually, a run down from Manchester, just a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, busy on the M6, as you might imagine, but not too bad overall. And so I'll catch you once I've got more set up. I need to get my hat on, I've got my sunnies on, so it's all looking good for hopefully what will be quite a nice weekend. And here we are. This is my site for the weekend, so this is going to be fun, don't you think? Lots of things going on. So I don't know if you can hear me with all of the sounds going on, but this is how I'm spending my weekend in Derbyshire. No, not in Derbyshire, Okay, so now I'm actually in the town of Tewkesbury, and it's been pretty sort of grey and wet, but it's drying up now, so that's really nice because it means I can have a bit of a mooch around. And if I just twiddle around, you can see some of these wonderful buildings and the church in the background. This is the Hyde, which is a really lovely cafe, which is dog friendly, so I could take Lexi in it, but it also does the most yummy food and gorgeous breakfasts. So I've had quite a nice time in there. Okay, so I'm continuing to walk down the street. I've had to put a voiceover on this piece because the traffic noise was just too loud. But really, the building quality is really, really amazing. And because these buildings are so old, the level of craftsmanship is wonderful. And there's so many interesting details on these facades. And of course, all these timber-framed buildings are so reminiscent for me of where I grew up in Suffolk. So anyway, a very fascinating town, stack full of history, some of which I'm going to share more with you in a minute. So now I'm just about to go into the Abbey, but I just had to show you these wonderful hanging baskets and this crocheted post, which is just so nice. I'm about to go, as I say, into the Abbey, so I'll share with you some of that footage. And I guess that's why everything is decorated the way it is, which is rather nice. You even got this lovely seat cover. Isn't that delightful? Love that. So that's all looks like crochet. When I was young, my mum insisted on making me crochet cardigans, which at the time I didn't think were very cool, but obviously it's got very cool now. Look at these beautiful flowers, really vibrant. And then this bus shelter has been done up in the most spectacular ways, really, with all of these pom-poms, this lovely crocheted shawl, and even the seat is covered with it. Isn't that lovely? So this is the wonderful Abbey, and lots of things going on in the grounds because of the medieval festival. Talking about bows and arrows and things going on. And they're showing the different bows at the moment, so it's kind of interesting. You like that sort of thing? Archery in progress, danger, it says. So I am now in the Abbey, and it's such a beautiful building, such stunning ceiling. And if I take you over there, then it becomes red, and it's just really quite spectacular. And this is the Abbey. Beautiful windows. And on the outside you see all of the blue and turquoise down the walls, which presumably is from the copper of the leaded window, or the copper foiled windows. This is obviously where they preach from. But a very, very stunning building. I don't feel like I need to really narrate this. I can just show you. That noise is my not very well behaved greyhound, who's going to be told in a minute that she needs to leave if she's going to make such noise. There we are. And this is just a bit of a random thing. On the outside of the Abbey there's this beautiful tree, and this is called, wait for it, Catalpa bignonioides, which is the Indian bean tree. And I know that because I have a background in landscape design, so I kind of spotted it and I thought, am I right? And then, I don't know if you can see, but it has these wonderful beans forming, which go to show that it is a bean tree. I don't know if I can, yeah, there's not any lower down yet, but hopefully you can see those ones that are forming. Let me just show you. Hopefully you can see those beans. Here we are. This is the thing that I am visiting, the Tewkesbury Medieval Festival. That's interesting, isn't it? Lots of people turning up now. Here is the Medieval Festival, and we're on Lexi and I are on the field where all of the stalls are, and they're selling clothes and all different sorts of things, and demonstrations going on, and archery and all sorts of things. So it's kind of a fascinating place to be. And if we go over here to one of the stalls, they're making a nice pot of food. Making a nice pot of food there, so that's all interesting. I'm hoping I'm not going to run out of power because I've got a low battery coming up. It's tricky because I don't have power with me this weekend, so I'm relying on my leisure battery to keep things charged up, which is not always so straightforward. So anyway, there's some other things happening over here, so I just nip over here. It's hard not to be in the way of people. So here we are. Here's somebody that's operating very fascinating looking.
There's no, it's just held in that position like that. Stand there. Yeah.
Waiting for the battle, and it's quite interesting to see all these older tent structures and local people in medieval outfits mixing with the visitors. This is all very interesting.
There's no jousting at this one, it's just a big battle.
hear the Lancastrians in the crowd giving them a rising round of applause. I can hear a few boos from any potential Yorkists as well there. But you know what, the more noise you make, the better they're going to fight for you.
And for those of you on the far right now, you'll begin to see Queen Margaret of Anjou herself. And walking at her right-hand side, her teenage son, Edward, Prince of Wales. He's brave, he's young, he's energetic, he's been waiting for this moment all his life. He is the grandson of Henry V, one of our greatest warrior kings, and now's his chance to prove himself. And those of you on the right will see the 3 white ostrich feathers, which are the Prince of Wales symbol right up to the present day, when the present Prince and Princess of Wales sport them. And behind is the Queen's bodyguard, a magnificent assemblage of soldiers drawn from all over Western Europe, from Italy, from Belgium as it is now, from Holland as it is now, from France and from Germany, there to defend her. Queen Margaret of Anjou, long live the Queen, vive la reine. Up to confer with his brother about tactics, and the field artillery of both armies, left and right, have been brought forward. These are to try and soften up the opposition, to give them a pounding that will open holes in the ranks, demoralise them.
You can see the young Prince of Wales there with the feathers, just leading the army out. The man has no fear.
No. The Prince is right out in front of his army. He's an impetuous, incredibly courageous young man. He's raised his sword to halt his troops. Lord Wenlock behind him, and the Duke of Somerset is bringing up his men, parallel with the others. But Somerset striding right in front of his wing, eyeing up the Yorkist army, and he's still going.
There's some of the men who were hidden in the trees who have just joined the back of the Yorkist left flank.
As most of the men at arms in front of you are using bill weapons, bill hooks, bill spears. They're best thought of as giant can openers, but then the people they're fighting are best thought of as giant cans.
So this is our last morning in Tewkesbury, and I'm going to go take an early morning stroll with Lexi here, and we're going to go down to the river, which is really nice. So yeah, the campsite is now rather quiet. So here we are on the last morning. Of course, all of the bikers and the music has gone, and we're right down by the river. And although there's been a lot of storms this weekend, it's rather a beautiful morning, as you can see. Really quiet. You can just hear the bird song. All the ducks down there. There's young Lexi here having a mooch, which is really nice actually, to just be able to stroll along here in the quiet. It's quite early in the morning as the sun is coming up, as you can see. And it's kind of a nice place probably for me to finish this video of this weekend in Tewkesbury. It has been such a really interesting time, such a lot of varied things to do. There has been the bikers and the music, and then the medieval festival, and then dipping into Cheltenham yesterday. So a whole range of things, which is meant for a really lovely weekend. And as Forrest Gump said in the film, life's a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. And I think that is exactly right. And the wonderful thing about coming out in the campervan is that it really gives rise to more of those opportunities to happen, these unexpected things, and this sort of pace of life with this type of trips, really. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I'd love to get your comments, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.